Okay, guys, we're on the third hour now. How are we getting? Oh, we're doing all right for time. Just getting through them. I just finished that thread, hadn't I? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I had. All right, new thread. This is Germany live stream. Steve071 says, another top live stream, Ben. It's a disgrace the amount of crap we have to go to these days. Stop the New World Order. Yeah, I know what you mean, Steve. Yeah, I know. Now, thanks very much. Glad you like that. Jock of Ages says on Germany live stream, did I miss another live stream? Or is this a recording of one I missed? Either way, I missed it live. Hope you're well, Ben. Thanks, Jock. You know, some people are not getting notifications. I know. And every time I do a live stream, someone complains they haven't received a notification. That's YouTube basically algorithming me. I've basically been shadow banned. That's probably a part of it. Andrew Munchkin says on Germany as well, somehow I missed this live stream, watching it now. I hope you enjoy the recording, Andrew. I do. I'm sorry you had that situation. It's annoying. It really is. 9/11 20th anniversary live stream. Okay, this is one from, obviously, from September this year. Tommy says, Fourth Amendment. Whoops, what's happened now? Hang on. Oh, I've got to... Oh, bloody heck. I just clicked hell for review and I've got to scroll back down. Oh, come on. So I've got to scroll back down now. Oh, we go. Right. Oh, that's not bad. I'm getting there. Fourth Amendment. Right prior to 9/11 of boarding planes with knives and pepper spray was odd, thinking back. These people hated our way of life, and Bill Clinton had tried to kill bin Laden 3 times in the late 90s. Right. What's the Fourth Amendment all about? I mean, let's have a look. Fourth Amendment. I know the Second Amendment is guns. I know the First Amendment is free speech. The Fifth Amendment is incriminating yourself in court. Oh, wait, here we go. Protects people from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government. Okay. Now, I take it you believe in the official story of 9/11. I don't. I mean, if you watch... I don't know if you could you actually get all the information from this one live stream? There's many, many other sources, both on my channel and others, Tommy, which indicates that... which will give you an idea of all the details we're talking about at the moment. How's the battery's getting low on my clock? That's all right. But everything. I mean, I don't know what you say about the Fourth Amendment and that, but Bill Clinton and stuff like that, bin Laden. If you believe the official story in 9/11, I request that you look at it again. There's lots of material on my channel and on other people's. Tommy also says on Trump in Britain banned. This is hilarious, he says. Well, it is. It's sort of scornfully funny, I suppose. It's very annoying. I actually got like a warning, an official warning on my bloody channel for that. Or was it the Boris one? I don't know. I got an official warning of community guidelines over bullying and harassment. I said, where? Where's the bullying and harassment in this video? But that's stuck. I've still got it on my bloody channel. It's still there now. It always will be. It's a permanent warning. Anyway, Germany live stream. Gary Robinson says, sorry I missed the live stream, Ben. Like, going to watch this through anyway. Pride and dignity, brother. Pride and dignity, Gary. And you know, I hope you enjoy the recording. Right, Cats. We have the same video now. Cat Squatch returns, and it's in Roman letters. It says here. What's that in Roman numerals? 103, I think that says, is it? I'm going to work out what that is actually in Roman numerals. Just one moment. I'll answer your question in a moment, Cat Squatch. I just want to listen to XCIII. Okay. Roman numerals. XCII, Roman numerals. 93, thank you. Right, it is... so it's Cat Squatch returns 93. Thanks, he says Chandler's is gay. Who's Chandler's? I don't know who Chandler's is. Chandler, is it someone in Germany? I don't know. Oh, God. Anyway, I don't care if they are or not. I'm not interested in other people's private lives. As long as they don't take an interest in my freedoms. Marky Boy, hello. Germany live stream. I've been away a while, Ben, so catching up. Well, thanks for coming back, Marky. I've got to say that at the moment, internment camps get more on the horizon. I'm going to roll my sleeve. I've got to say that the moment internment camps get more on the horizon, I'm going to roll my sleeve up. I would rather die at home than in a strange, unknown government centre. That's the point, I say. Enough is enough. I pray it does not come to that, but I am honest enough to know my breaking point. I do not want the jab, and my loved ones who have been spared respect that. I really wish they had not had it. One confided to me last night. He wished he'd been able not to be jabbed, as I have, but family pressure and the old normal lie forced him to have it. Well, Monkey, I'm not going to judge you, okay? And I'm actually writing in the middle of writing an article about this on HPANWO Voice, because there's a lot of truth posers now in the anti-C19 thing, and they need to be addressed. I'm not going to judge you, and I expect your honesty of knowing there is a line over which you would actually comply. I personally think that's a mistake, and I myself would not comply in your situation. That being said, though, it may not come to the point where we'll be faced with that choice. I hope that won't happen. As you say yourself, it's on the horizon, but I hope it doesn't happen. Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen. I mean, I know a lot of people who have already. I mean, even now they've had the V word. I mean, Niall Murphy on Through an Opaque Lens, he's had it, and he tells people he's had it. And people are giving him a hard time. I don't. I think he's made a mistake, but I certainly don't. I still like the guy. I still respect him. I still watch his channel. But anyway, Marky, I hope everything's all right with you. Thanks for getting back to me and coming and watching the channel again. And good luck. Good luck. Right, here we are. David Icke, a reply to Sargon of Akkad. Oh, I love these ones, these reply videos. We have here Scar Washers. It's hard to decide which one is more controlled opposition, Icke or Sargon. Right, well, I personally think that's the wrong question, because neither of them are controlled opposition in my view. If you think otherwise, feel free to give me your reasons why you think they are both controlled opposition, and we'll address them. But you say you obviously see them both as equally guilty. Well, let's look at the facts. I'm happy to discuss the evidence with you. Right, Germany livestream Charles from Project Camelot. Come now, Uncle Scrooge. There are many things from which I have made no profit, disclosure being among them. And although it has never put a single penny in my pocket or put a scrap of food on my table, disclosure is humbug and will remain humbug, and I say God bless it. All right. I think that is a line from the Christmas Carol. But, you know what happened, though, in the story? The character undergoes a transformation. Things are revealed by these ghosts, and he undergoes a transformation. Okay, we now have a thread on a new video: best and funniest films a hospital porter reacts. Louis James said, "Did you hear Steve's plan for Sunday? Re Gareth, he wanted you on as well. What show will it be?" And that's nocturnal. He says nocturnal frequency. And then I replied here, "Hi Louis, it's on Monday. I'll be there." Unfortunately, there were lots and lots of. There was a whole load of technical problems. I better just check the thread actually on Facebook. But it didn't come about. Unfortunately, it didn't come about. One of the hosts had technical problems, and I'll check that later. One of the hosts had technical problems, and so the program couldn't go ahead. But Steve's going to reschedule it. That's Steve Genia of the Nocturnal Frequency Rate podcast. Yeah, I'll be on that. I have to get up for 3 a.m. or is it 2 a.m. But it's worth it. It's worth it. And Louis says, excellent, that'll be fantastic. So, Louis, I'm very sorry I couldn't be on this time, but I will be on again. Charles says, Steve Mumbling's doing it. By George, he's actually doing it. Come cheer me up, lads. 'Tis to glory we steer. Oh, so Steve has been on Nocturnal Frequencies. That'll be amusing. And then Limespec says there's nothing on Steve's channel. I went over there to see if that was true. And here is the. Oh right, it's now live in 22 days' time. Oh, they've already rescheduled it. Oh, right. I'll be on that. I'll definitely be on that. But anyway, Steve... Steve Jennier. Sorry, you're talking about Steve Jennier. For some reason, I thought you meant Steve Mumbling. I went and checked his channel and said it's there, but there is, as Louis has actually posted here, there is actually a upcoming video thing already, an upcoming video page already prepared. No, Limespec says I meant Steve Mumbling's channel. He hasn't uploaded for months. How do you guys know he's doing a debate with Ben? Well, Steve's not doing a debate with me now, unfortunately. And Charles says, sorry, the real Steve died a while ago. We've been using a deep fake for years to keep his memory alive. Now that's tricky. How do you program a bot to say absolute rubbish the way the real one does? That's not possible. And Steve071 says, from Project Camelot, Piffle. Drivels Spruker. From Project Camelot, complete fantasist. IQ of a carrot. Keep them going. But the real Steve Mumbling should, I think, include here. All right, Trevor says here, best and funniest films, A Hospital Porter Reacts. Legends of the Fall. I saw this film at least 5 times in the theatre. I've watched Lord of the Rings at home so many times, I can't say how many times. Star Wars 4 and 5 and 6, I've watched too many times to count. All right, Steve, Social Dilemma, Trevor, I'm glad you like those. Lord of the Rings, of course, I love. I went to see the first one, The Fellowship of the Ring, which is the best. I went to see it in the cinema when it was reshot. Yeah. Legend of the Fall I've never seen. Star Wars 4, 5 and 6 I don't like. So, but in this, if you mean if that's the new trilogy you're talking about, I don't like them. Trevor says, Masters of the Universe with Frank Legrala as Skeletor. Frank says it was his favourite role to play to date, since he was given the go-ahead to act as the role he felt it fit. All right, I've not seen that. Generally, sort of comic book or cartoon movie versions are generally not very good, but there are exceptions. I mean, the Spider-Man movies are excellent. They're brilliant. Well, I went and saw the first Spider-Man movie. I just went and saw it with, I think I went and saw it with a girl I was on a date with years ago, and I thought it's going to be rubbish. You know, I only went there because she wanted to go, but it was bloody good. Really, really good. Another is Mission Impossible 2. That was way better than I thought it was going to be. Charles says here, on Best and Funniest Films, yes, that's what the people want. Honest, good, Jonesian observational commentary on real pop culture and history. Well, you'll be glad to know, Charles, I've got another of these Hospital Porter Reacts videos planned. I'm going to do one on the best horror movies, not the ones that scared me the most, the best ones, and the saddest films, the weepiest films. I'm going to do one, so I'm going to do another one of those before long. He carries on. Disclosure, Drivel, Reptilians, Poppycop, Pock Moon Landing Hoax, Boulder Dash, secret James Bond-esque government bent on world domination, absolute rubbish. Surely bloody good show. All right. Well, I don't think those things are all those things you say they are. So I will continue to make videos on those things you don't like, Charles. But I do have more of these Hospital Porter Reacts films planned. And Glowtone, this does seem to be a popular upload. Glowtone says, great reviews, Ben. Shame that Zulu has been treated the way it is. Classic film indeed. Yeah, that's true. Anthony Schaefer also wrote the original play and screenplay for Sleuth. Yeah, that's right. And he also, who wrote those things, also wrote Alfred Hitchcock's film Frenzy. All right, that's good. That was a good movie, yeah. The original 1972 version of The Wicker Man, that is the only, that's the only one worth watching, Glowtone. The remake with Nicolas Cage is bloody awful, even by remake standards. That's shit. Oh, and adapted several Agatha Christie novels for the big screen, amongst others. All right, because they're very good adaptations, some of them. I mean, there's about 4 versions of A Death on the Nile. The one with Peter Ustinov is fantastic. There's loads of others anyway, yeah. The screenplay for the remake of Sleuth, starring Michael Caine and Jude Law, was written by the playwright Harold Pinter, based on the original Schaffer play. Schaffer's twin brother, Peter Schaffer, wrote Equus, which you mentioned, and the play screenplay for the famous producer of Amadeus and many others. Oh, right, okay. So it was Anthony Schaefer who wrote Sleuth and those other ones, and Peter Schaefer who wrote Equus. Okay, well, thanks for clarifying that, Glowtone. I didn't know Harold Pinter wrote the new Sleuth. I'm actually thinking of binge watching those, probably maybe tomorrow. Binge watching them. I'll watch the first and then the second together, and I'm just in the mood for that sort of thing. I might even do it Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. I'm not sure, but I will certainly. I want to watch the old Sleuth and the new Sleuth. The old one, of course, is much better. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that because Harold Pinter died quite recently. He must have died soon after writing that. But that's interesting. Harold Pinter is a good writer, actually. He wrote lots of kitchen sink drama in the 50s, including The Caretaker, which talks about kind of like electroshock therapy and secret experiments and stuff. That's very good. Hospital Porter reacts. Gary Robinson. I agree, Cloud Atlas is quite an epic. You know what, though? Like most good films, it was indeed a flop. It only recouped about 10 million of its 100 million budget from its theatrical run. Oh, right, I didn't know that, Gary. I thought it actually did. I think it actually did. I thought it broke even at least, but oh dear. The fact is that most people don't watch movies because they're into movies, if that makes sense. They simply want to watch escapism trash, which is why good movies always flop or end up with limited distribution. The best example I can think of is Blade Runner, and of course, more recently, The Last Duel. Cheers. All right, I've not seen The Last Duel, but I didn't realise that Blade Runner was actually a flop, but it was. However, because a film flops on a release in the big screen doesn't mean it's all over. I mean, for example, I was quite surprised when I learnt what the biggest Hollywood flop was. You think it's going to be something obscure. It's actually not. It's actually Antony and Cleopatra, which is today regarded as a classic. If you define a flop as the least profitable movie, the one which grosses nothing, Cloud Atlas, of course, didn't gross anything. You'll find that Antony and Cleopatra was extremely expensive. It went way over budget, and they were even reusing like plastic drinking cups because they were so short of money. They finished the film, and then it didn't come anywhere near recouping what it originally cost. So that surprised me. However, over the years since it was made, I think it was made in, let's have a look, hang on. It was Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton. Antony and Cleopatra. Here we are, yep. All right. Oh, it's a tragedy by William Shakespeare. Let me just hang on. Film adaptations. Okay, 1972 film. Is this the one? Hang on, where's... No, that's not the one. No, that's not the one, hang on. It's the one, okay. Elizabeth Taylor, that's the one, hang on. 1963 film, that's it, called Cleopatra, this is the one. Yeah. Sorry, I got the title wrong. Cleopatra, directed... Oh, Joseph Mankiewicz again, yes. The guy who did Sleuth, yeah. Joseph L. Mankiewicz, epic historical drama. 27... Following an extensive casting search... Here we go. Oh, where is it? Oh, this is the highest grossing film. I thought it was a... Oh, what? However, the film initially lost money because the producer's costs. All right, okay. I'll have to leave that behind. I can't sort that out right now. I'm not going to finish this otherwise. Marley Pumpkin says on Hospital Porter Reacts, all right, you are not a hospital porter. Obsessed, yes. I'm not a hospital porter now, but I'm an ex-hospital porter. I've got my uniform in my studio area. But would you say that like to Jameson's Travels? Because he does these things called A, B and C, a Marine Reacts. And there's that Don Shipley who says so-and-so, a Navy SEAL reacts. Now, those men are not... the guy who does Jameson's Travels is not a Marine. He's not a US Marine. And Don Shipley's not a Navy SEAL. However, they used to be. Both of those men used to be, and so they do things saying a Marine reacts, a Navy SEAL reacts. Now, would you go to them and say and make that point? Because if you wouldn't go to those two men and make that point, you can't come to me and make that point either. Because I used to be a hospital porter. And as Dark Corner says underneath, once a porter, always a porter. And I've already given him a love heart for that. But Marley, you say obsessed yet. Well, obsessed, I am obsessed about certain things, I admit that. But am I any different in that respect to anyone else? You know, am I? Charles from Project Camelot says, not just any exporter, a proud and dignified one. Yes, thank you, Charles. And I gave him a love heart. Steve071 says, unlike the Monty Python sketch, an exporter does not cease to be. Thanks very much. Charles says, not bereft of life. He's not pushing up the daisies, says Steve. Not yet, no. Charles says, he wants the right to have babies and be called Loretta. That's a reference to the life of Brian, if you didn't realise. Yeah. Same video. Says Dark Corners. Apocalypse Now is my favourite film of all time. It's very good, isn't it? You know, I've never seen the extended version. I actually watched it. I actually bought it on YouTube. I rented it on YouTube. Never done that before, but I did rent it, and it is really great. Yes, and I watched the whole thing all the way through. That's the first time I've ever watched the whole thing all the way through. I've watched the beginning, then left it, and I've watched the ending and left it. But this time I watched the whole thing all the way through, and it was for the first time. It was great. But I want to watch the extended version now with the extra scenes because it is a very, very good film. Yeah. Right. Red Joan film review. Okay, we have Emma Goutard. Emma Goutard is back, and she is writing in French, a language I did learn at school, but have not spoken for years, and so cannot speak. I'm going to have to use Google Translate again, Emma, on Red Joan. For this is here we go. Right, here we go. Right, French. It's a true story how she endangered the war after what they did in Japan, and how Russians spied for secrets of the bomb. Watch the movie Homosexuality Was Already There and More. All right, so yeah, there were spies, for example, much more serious spies, such as Klaus Fuchs and the Rosenbergs, Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. And there was a guy called, what's his name? He worked over here in Oxfordshire at, what's his bloody, I hate it when I can't think of him. Okay. Atomic Spies, what's his name? Atomic Spies, blah-de-blah, Klaus Fuchs, of course, yeah. Blah-de-blah-de-blah. Britain and Canada, what's their names? Notable Spies. Where we go? Where's his name? Alan Nunn May. Actually, he's quite old when he died, 2003. Was a British physicist and confessed and convicted Soviet spy, yeah. These people basically, the Russians managed to develop their bomb. I mean, after the Americans detonated their first bombs in 1945, they thought, well, the Russians won't get one till at least 1960. And so when the Russians, they blew up their first bomb at the beginning of 1949, I believe, and that shocked the world. But they got a lot of their technology they stole from the Americans via these spies. I don't know what's this movie Homosexuality Was Already There. I don't know what you mean by that, Emma. Sorry, it could be because it's Google Translate can't translate properly, or French. There were gay men in a lot of. All right, what you mean, I think, is that a lot of the spies were homosexuals, and they were blackmailed into spying for that reason, and that's true. A lot of them were. I mean, some of them were anyway, like Guy Burgess. But they did put them in a vulnerable position because technically they could be prosecuted, and Alan Turing, of course, was. Okay, there's another comment here. After Fukushima, Japan was never used again, and it was successful only one way to defuse the risks. I don't know what you mean by that comment. I'm sorry, Emma. Can you speak English at all? Google Translate, I think, Google Translate's not the best translation program. So could you perhaps, if you can't speak English, could you find a better translation program? I'd appreciate that. Oh, we got more. Here we go. More. Oh, we got a lot of French comments here, and I've just shut Google Translate. Let me reopen it. From Emma Goutard. Emma Goutard. Sorry, Emma. I didn't want to butcher your username then. On Red Joan. I've not watched Red Jones since then, actually. Let's have a look. Okay. Which proves that chance does not exist. You meet people who know that you can bring them things by seduction. Everything is good to infiltrate. The Russians are not just their intelligence of espionage, like the others they buy people. Yes. They used... I can't quite understand. Again, it's a little bit incoherent. But you're absolutely right. The Russians were experts at espionage. They're by far the best in the world. And they still are. I mean, look at the successes they've had since, lately, running Julian Assange and things like that. Only kidding, only kidding. But no, I mean, it was only after the Cold War, I mean, they realised how successful they were. Most of the Venona decrypts were never actually translated because the Russians used them properly. They used the one-time pads. Okay, here we go. This is one last comment here from Emma. Okay, let me just put it into translate. Okay. I'm not learning French to talk to. I'm trying to learn Russian at the moment, actually, Emma, believe it or not. Okay. Here we go. The French have always been naive, as in the pink telephone the film traces. The French naivety and the American methods already at the time. I'm afraid I don't understand a word of that, Emma. I'm sorry. But thank you for commenting. I really do appreciate your comments on Red Joe and this old film. And you've commented before on this particular video, and I appreciate that. Okay. Why Call Them Back from Heaven? Book review, Crafty Nihilist. You gave it age concern. Yes. I see the irony, Crafty. I really do. I see the irony. Age concern, of course. Cryonics is about age concern. Oh, Emma Guitar is here again. Let me just reopen Google Translate. Right, here we go. Okay. Can't. And she says here, it's a very beautiful film. And if you like history, it's a very beautiful film to watch if you love history. Yeah, it is. Yeah, but I think it's primarily is for history buff. Yes, Emma, but it could be for lots of things as well. All right, Tommy Time Television. Can I call you TTT for short? On the Penta Skywatch, there is Welsh Roswell stories near Pisteth Falls. My mate's dad went pheasant shooting the day after. Oh, sorry, the day after in 1976, and was warned by the army to go home or get shot. Apparently, a spaceship crashed, then tried to take off again. Or Wikipedia said it was a meteor and earthquake at the same times. So I've camped up there twice, both times in 2008. They planted a forest over where the incident happened. Me and my friend tried to find the location shown to us in 2019, but were hampered by floods. We did get there, but what's this? But were dubious to walk out into the vastness of the Welsh hills. Off my floods everywhere. Right, oh Tommy, I've never heard of this. I've never heard of this incident. I will look it up now. Pisteth Falls. I'll just Google it quickly and leave the page open. Pisteth Falls. Oswestry, okay. Pisteth Rider Falls, okay. A waterfall, I'll put here UFO and see what comes up. Oh, right. It is in Berwyn Mountains, right. So I'll have a look at that. I'll look it up. But if you can find me any more details, I'll be interested. I mean, will your mate's dad talk to me? I mean, this is in 1976. Is he old? Is he still alive? I'd be interested to talk to him. Let me know, TTT. Triple T, all right, mate. Triple T again. I might not come back. Oh my God, this is a film that got everyone worried. And you know what's bad? The sequel, I have come back. I couldn't actually do it because I had a bloody electricity went here in the house, and so I had to get Lisa just to tell everyone I was all right. TT Triple T says that I think they may have called you in and not Mrs. B because you're a man, and they might think there was more chance of it kicking off and more chance of bloodshed. It could be Triple T. Mrs. B won't speak to me now. I did ask her if they. I just wrote to her and said if they interview, could you please at least be honest? I know you're angry with me for some reason. Could you at least be honest? And so presumably she had, because they've NFA'd me. If you read her Panamo voice, you'll know they NFA'd me. TTT says on I have come back. Ben, there's a channel called JCS Criminal Psychology. Not only does it tell you police techniques, but also body language and semantics of criminals. It's really interesting. Here's a link. All right. Let's have a look. Oh, thank you. All right, I will look at this. I've subbed to them. I will look at it. Thank you. Triple T also says they use all kinds of techniques which I can't remember. I remember one called the dossier technique. I'm not a criminal. I just found it very interesting. Triple T, I believe you. All right. Thousands wouldn't, but I believe you. You don't have to be a criminal to find this sort of thing interesting. I actually did use the techniques when I was interviewed by the cops. I did use the techniques taught to me by the anti-terrorist. Always keep your eyes, don't move, fold your arms in front of you, avoid eye contact, that sort of thing. I did use those techniques as I explained. Okay. And we have here, best and funniest films, A Hospital Porter Reacts. Oh, Jamelia Jackson, hello again. Dr. Livingston, I presume. Hello, my friend. Hello again, Jamelia. Nice to see you back. I have a question unrelated to this video, but I'm looking forward to watching this. Hope you enjoy it. The question, how do you explain the most recent Disney Plus Beatles documentary, which features a very much alive Paul, with a capital P, McCartney? All of the facial and voice features match up with the current-day Paul McCartney, and he did not look as if he'd been in a car accident, which was covered up by MI5. Paul is alive in the documentary. How do you explain this wild conspiracy that Paul is dead when we have so much candid fly-on-the-wall style video footage from a period when he's supposed to be dead? Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you too, Jamelia. I've not seen this Disney Plus Beatles documentary. And what era did the footage come from that you're referring to him when he's very much alive with a capital P? Because if it came after November 1966, then you are looking at the man we today call Paul McCartney, who is not. He is full McCartney. He is Billy Shears. He is William Shepherd. And you say here that he didn't look like he'd been. All the facial features match up with the current day Paul McCartney, and he did not look as if he'd been in a car accident. Okay, if his facial features match up with today's Paul McCartney, then you're not looking at Paul McCartney. You're looking at Fall. I mean, perhaps you don't realise the point we're making here, Jamelia. If you're comparing Paul McCartney post November '66 with today's Paul McCartney, you're simply comparing an old Billy Shears with a modern Billy Shears. You see what I mean? I thought you meant this is footage of Paul before November '66 or September '66 when he disappeared. Now, I explain it. That's how I explain it. I think you misunderstand the point we're making here. And you say there is so much candid fly-on-the-wall style video footage from the period when he's supposed to be dead. Well, actually, there was one photograph taken in September of '66, which is the Melody Makers Award at the Post Office Tower, where you see Paul. You see him standing next to Tom Jones and Dusty Springfield. It's a publicity shot for the event. And then it's in the famous revolving restaurant. You see the skyline of London below you. After that, there is nothing of Paul. Paul is not seen. He's not filmed. No one even meets him until at least late November. So he disappeared for about 2 months. And if you can find like a photo or video or something like that from that time period, I'd be interested to see it. But the researchers like Nick Colostrom and Anne Walsh and other people, they can't find it. So Paul is dead. And I think maybe you perhaps don't understand the issue, in which case there's a lot of material on my channel which will hopefully help you. But good to see you again anyway, Jamelia. Pearl Harbor 80th anniversary, Gary Robinson. Pride and Dignity, brother. Watching now as I missed it live. Tonight I am drunk and depressed. What a world. Oh dear. I'm sorry, Gary, I really am. If being drunk doesn't make you happier, then I think you're drinking for the wrong reasons, mate. Don't overdo it. Same video, Gary Robinson. P.S. Invasion Season 2 confirmed by Apple TV, Ben, mate. That's one more UFO show in the bag. All right, okay. If you think it's worth watching, I'll watch it. What I'd love to see is a Season 3 of Project Blue Book. Yeah. Hudek says on Pearl Harbor, Japan attacked the Philippines before Hawaii on the 8th of December. They did indeed, yeah. I mean, I think I mentioned that, Hudek, but that's right. Same video, Dark Corners. Pride and dignity, brother. Pride and dignity. How are you? Dark Corners, UK. Oh, well, right. Again, Charles says, don't know what to say to you, Ben. Just because individuals such as Shrimpton, Parks, Ike say things that you agree with doesn't mean they are nice people. I know that, Charles. I know that. I mean, you should realise that I know that, because Charles Scott says things that I agree with, and he doesn't. And you say things that I don't agree with more. Yet you seem to be a nicer person than him. So surely you realise because of that I understand that point. Charles from Project Camelot, Pearl Harbor 80th. The Pentuck incident was absolutely a military exercise and nothing more. No, it wasn't. The UFO story is made up rubbish. No, it's not. Real EMF readers cost thousands of dollars. They need expensive software to get anything meaningful from them, and they can't pick up residual readings. Now, the ones Gary Jones was using are they're the proper deal. I mean, he where's the book? I don't know how much it cost him. Oh, where was it? I can't look this up now. It doesn't have an index. Sorry, the book doesn't have an index. It doesn't have a list of contents or an index. Sorry, but it's in here. God, sorry, Charles. I don't have that information. Like I said, a debate over the issues over this would be a good thing. But Gary did get the proper stuff. He really did. So, okay, the C-17 Hercules class are not capable of firing ordnance and are propeller-driven, not jet-driven. All right, so that's... I think maybe Kaz got the two mixed up. I don't know. But she did... What she said was that the C-17, which I know is a transport aircraft, it has a ramp at the back. It's an RAF plane, and it is powered by 4 turbojets. I know that. They're not capable of firing ordnance. No, they're not. That's not their role. They're not combat aircraft, and they are propeller-driven. I know. They have a distinctive flare distribution that looks exactly like a pyramid with a dome. There was no UFO and no cover story. It's a made-up story. Okay, well let's have a look at. Can I just have a look quickly at? Okay, C-17 Hercules flares. Because I've seen flares being cast by other aircraft. Okay, Angels of War, flares and aerobatics. C-17 fireworks on a C-17 aircraft. Let's have a look, shall we? Okay. Oh no, there's a C-130. No, this is the C-17. Here we go. Okay.
Any spinner could win 1,000.
Oh, sorry, ads. Hang on. Are we talking the C-130 is the Hercules? Sorry, hang on. C-130 Hercules. So what's the, I was getting these mixed up. I thought that was odd. C-17 aircraft. Okay. The Boeing C-17 Globemaster 3. Okay. All right. Okay. This here is the Globemaster. Let me just give you the. We're getting our planes mixed up now. Was it? Alan Partridge might say, "Don't do planes. Stop doing planes wrong." All right. This is a C-17 Globemaster 3. And it is a large military transport aircraft. Okay, so it has the same role as the C-130 Hercules, but as you can see, it has jet engines. So is Kaz talking about this, or is she talking about the C-130 Hercules? We're getting our planes mixed up here. That's the question. The C-130 Hercules. Okay, here we go. That's this. It's a turboprop military transport aircraft, very, very popular, used across the world. That's it. See, there's the turboprops, and as you can see here, that's the distinctive profile of this aircraft. Okay, so which is Kaz talking about? Neither of those are capable of. They don't fire ordnance. Their transport role. But anyway, let's have a look at these. Let's see if the ads are over with now. Okay, guys, I'm just going to switch to screen cap. Okay. Okay, this is This is the C-17. Come on, get on with it. Get on with it, guys. Come on. Don't get me a bloody third-party strike. Here we go. Wow! That's neat. Very nice. No, don't need the audio. There, you see, that's they're basically doing this as a sort of fireworks display. Okay. Yep, that's what they look like. Okay. Now let's look at the C130 Hercules flares. Let's see what we get here. C130 deploys flares over Wyoming at sunset. That sounds nice, doesn't it? And there are no ads. Yay. Let's have a look. Get out the way. There's one ad. Come on, get on with it. Bloody, bloody, bloody. Here we go. There we go. Oh, lovely. Very nice indeed. Okay. Okay, I think we get the picture now. Yeah. Very nice indeed. Okay, right. Screen cap off. Right. Right, back to Charles, his Charlesness. Okay, the C1s, okay, they're not capable of firing ordnance. They have distinctly flared distribution that looks exactly like a pyramid with a dome. Well, that you could see, I suppose you could see a kind of triangular shape in the way the flares move, leaving behind a trail of smoke. There's a kind of triangular look to it. Not a pyramid with a dome. That is certainly not what the witnesses describe. Neither of the main ones. There's also another one which is mentioned in the Bedtime Stories have done a video on this. There's another witness mentioned. None of the witnesses describe what you're looking at here. They describe something very different indeed. You say there's no UFO, no cover-up. It's a made-up story. I have to disagree with you, Charles. I have to. On both the points you make here about the flares and the EMF readers. Gary did pick up a proper EMF reader, and what you saw in those videos was definitely not what the witnesses describe. Okay, right, we go. Move on to right, Pearl Harbor 80th. We have Steve mumbling. I've made him break his silence. They should be ashamed of themselves for pushing that Penturk rubbish as truth. Well, we're not, Steve, because it is truth. It misleads those interested in the subject just for the sake of cash and minor fame. All right. How much? All right, it has given us some fame, but how much cash have we made exactly? Kaz is still living in the same house she was living in before. Gary is still doing the same job he's always done, so am I. I've not made a penny off this. If the people involved believe the story themselves, they wouldn't need to embellish it with lies about residual EMF. There's no such thing, by the way. Well, there is. I mean, this is not the only case in which this happened. I do recommend looking into the forensic study on the Cash Landrum incident in 1980. Oddly enough, it happened on the very same day as the Rendlesham Forest incident on the other side of the Atlantic. I think you'll find that UFO residual EMF and things like that is often a feature of UFO close encounters. In this case, the Penturk incident, actually, there was some kind of contact with the ground. There was lots of bright lights coming from looked like lightning coming off the craft. Do please do your homework on this, Steve, because you're completely wrong about that. And the extent of the NOTAM, etc., etc. Well, according to the FOIA, there was a distinctive NOTAM. Now, you could explain that as exercise chameleon, but Gary doesn't think so. Gary thinks there's more to it, and having carefully studied his evidence, I think he's right. Real researchers are capable of critical thinking. Real researchers capable of critical thinking will dismiss this story as science fiction rubbish in very short order. Rhetoric, no argument. We are real researchers, and we have not dismissed it. And we are capable of critical thinking. So, in a sense, your statement with its rhetoric just proves its own point. I did a couple of videos about it myself. One, oh right, oh, have I watched them? Oh right. One clearly showing the pyramid formation of parachute flares, as precisely described by Kaz Clark, and the one about Gary Jones's ludicrous microwave-level claim. Gary Jones is no researcher, he's just another piffle peddler. All right. I think the pyramid formation of parachute flares is kind of... We've kind of already addressed that with... well, it's similar... the flares coming off the aircraft I showed you in reply to Charles. Those are different kinds of flares. Those are thermal flares for countermeasures against heat-seeking missiles. Okay? But the flares you describe of your pyramid formation parachute flares are not what Kaz Clark describes, are not what the other witness describes, whom I interviewed independently, and not who another witness. There's other witnesses now that come forward. None of those describe what you say. No, your explanation does not fit any of those witness testimonies, and it's not ludicrous microwave level claims. It's not. Gary Jones is a researcher. He's not a piffle peddler. Gary Jones has done this completely off his own back. I know he worked with Sufon for a while, but he essentially is freelance, and he carried on as a researcher freelance. He co-authored this book, Steve, and what you said is completely wrong. Charles says here, well, where the dickens did the idea of residual EMF come out from anyway? Do they just hang out around having a sandwich and a beer before dispersing? It's all right. He's using a cheap $30 EMF reader from Amazon, about as much use as an electrician's screwdriver. Well, according to Gary, he said that would do the job. Did you know exactly what the model was? It's in the book. He talks about it in the book. What he did was he did take control readings, which came out correctly. So if he took control readings which came out correctly, why should the subject ones not? Why should the ones by the ball patch be any different? He carries on here. As for a propeller-driven Hercules class incapable of firing any weaponry at all, engaging in chase and dogfight with a UFO, that would be like a golf cart trying to outrun a dragster. Okay. I think if anyone thought that the Hercules, if it was flying around that night, had anything to do with the detonations of ordnance that happened at the same time, then obviously that particular platform did not fire that ordnance. However, there were other aircraft in the area, including a helicopter, a combat gunship. And the rest, of course, is history. You know about Smilog Woods. You've seen the thing there that I showed you and Gary showed you. We've done videos there. There's other documentaries about this. There's another one. There's a really good documentary, actually, which I do recommend. Now, where is it? If I can find it in my history. Here we go. It's called The Pentach UFO Incident Documentary Special, and it's on the channel called The Paranormal Scholar. Please do watch that. So there were other aircraft which probably were the ones involved in firing the ordnance, if possible. I mean, Kaz and the other witnesses had a limited view from where they were. All this was happening a little way in Llantrisant. It was actually Llantrisant where the firing took place, not Pentach. Steve Mumling replies to Charles. There is something called an AC-130, which is an airborne gunship. It's designed for ground attack, not aerial combat. This is what they've probably seen somewhere, probably in this movie. What's this then?
At PokerStars Casino.
Blah, blah, blah. AC-30 attacks Washington, D.C. Oh, my goodness me. Well, that's a C-130 Hercules. Oh, there's some CGI jets here. Hang on. Oh, hang on. All right, I'll show you. Hang on. That's a C-130 Hercules. There's jets. Boeing. Right. This is obviously some kind of amateur. It's not from any movie, I don't think. This is it. All right, is that the AC-130? It's been escorted by a Hercules for some reason. Ah, here we go. Oh, right. Well, now it's this is just a. This is some movie. Hang on, let's get rid of this. Oh, I didn't click display capture. Oh, sorry. Oh, right. Didn't I click display capture? Oh. Hang on a sec. Is this working? All right.
I call it my tube because
It
lots
is.
of
All
people.
right. All right. So I had a bit of technical issue there. I've got audio input capture, video input capture, display capture. So I didn't. All that was just some. It was. I don't think it was from a movie, but you actually see the C130 produce a Gatling gun from the side. All right. Sorry, Steve carries on. Note the fighter aircraft have to position themselves precisely in front of the aircraft's side-facing guns for defense to be effective. Obviously no match for an alien spacecraft that can appear and disappear in the blink of an eye. No terrestrial weapon system, regardless of how advanced it might be, particle beam weapons, etc., brackets, would be effective against a technology that can get here from another star system. I don't know about that. I think that's a supposition on your part, Steve. A modern frigate or destroyer could be sunk by a medieval naval cannon if it shoots hole below the waterline. Using one of these aircraft to attack an alien spacecraft would be like a caveman trying to shoot down an F-35 or Typhoon with a bow and arrow. Well, firstly, Steve, a caveman could do that. Supposing he fired the arrow, and it went into the jet intake. It would screw up the engine pretty badly, wouldn't it? Also, there's many occasions in which governments have ordered military assets against an extraterrestrial spacecraft with exactly those odds, in which case usually the humans come worse off. Now, there was a crash at Smilog Woods, but it may not have had anything to do with the combat that night. It could be that the actual helicopter, all right, you talk about the AC-1 to airborne gunship. It's actually a fighter jet, not a helicopter. But it could be that was the only asset they had in the area at the moment. It could be that was what was necessary, so they used it. Who knows? I mean, you're making a supposition. So you may say I'm assuming, but so are you. And Charles says here, in reply to Steve, even so, they wouldn't be allowed to deploy in the proximity to restricted areas, i.e. residential communities, as Clark is claiming. No, normally they wouldn't, Charles, but that's the whole point. They did. They did. In an exercise, that wouldn't happen. This is the whole point. This is why it couldn't have been Exercise Chameleon. It would be all over the headlines with government inquiries and heads rolling if ordnance was actually used where Kaz Clark claims it was. Both of them know exactly what happened and are using it for cash micro fame. Well, that's a supposition accusation on your part. It's a slur against their character, Charles, which you have no evidence of. You're just assuming that. It's sad to see how easily duped people can be, even with the most cursory due diligence applied. The whole story falls apart. Trying to sell a story through Facebook is, well, absolute rubbish. No, Charles. Well, firstly, that's all rhetoric, really, and forced due diligence is what we're applying here. This is what we're discussing. We're debating the issue. That is due diligence. If I was someone who didn't want to apply due diligence, I'd just block you both and I'd refuse to discuss it. Now, the very fact that that this actually happened, that this deployment actually happened, a combat deployment happened in this particular environment, is the very reason why it couldn't be Exercise Chameleon. It also there's absolutely no guarantee this would be in the headlines at all if the media were issued a D-notice on the subject. Or indeed the media just published a cover story which said it was all Exercise Chameleon, because it couldn't be, because there was a large detonation very close to a hospital which shook the entire building. I know the NHS works very closely with the Ministry of Defence. I've been involved at my end on military exercises. If that happened, and it did, there are records to show it, there are witnesses, then that means this was a real combat mission, which is why it entered this restricted area. You see what I mean? In essentially, what you just said proves the issue was correct. Anyway, let's move on here. Pearl Harbor's 80th. Steve Mumbling says, "It seems you're suddenly happy to accept Wikipedia entries as fact. Funny that when they disagree with your narrative, it's all Wikipedia rubbish. Actually, Steve, the only reason I chose Wikipedia, I needed a basic précis of the history. That's all. I looked at many other pages and many other sources which are unofficial, which I also included in the video. There is zero evidence of any war in Antarctica, let alone for a couple of years after the end of World War II. You really do live in cloud cuckoo land, don't you? I left this comment on your live stream this morning while I was having my breakfast, but seems it never made it onto screen. Funny that. Well, Steve, I didn't get to read all the comments because I didn't get to read all the comments because I was going through a lead off. That was probably it. Firstly, Steve, all right, if you want evidence, have you seen my video about Jack of the Antarctic? Okay, let's have a look. Let me find it for you. Okay, this is the one to the preview to this is actually on there we go. Jack of the Antarctic RIP 20th of December 2016. That's actually a follow-up to an article, not a video, but please do watch that. I mean, Jack, the man I met, he can't prove his story. He didn't even let me take notes. But after 2 meetings with him, I'm not so sure. I can't put my finger on it. He seemed convincing. Now, there's other evidence as well. There's actually a series of articles in Nexus magazine which go into that in detail. It was because I was talking publicly about those in Nexus magazine on the old Dark Conspiracy forum that Jack got in touch with me. Where is it? Oh, I can't remember which issue it is, but you can find it in Nexus archives. Anyway, Charles says here, there's no mystery as to why Byrd pulled out of Antarctica and never has been. They had to turn back because the ships became trapped in the ice. Well, they didn't know. A few of the smaller ones, the submarines had to turn back and a couple of others. The main fleets actually went right through. They actually, in Operation High Jump, they did. Anyway, Pearl Harbor 80th anniversary live stream. Williamism, hello. Need to catch up, fella. Hello, Williams. How are you doing? Nice to see you again. Same video, Basic Materials said, one of my distant relatives was in Pearl Harbor, one of about only 127 guys to survive. A foolish thing to do if ever I saw a foolish thing, a terrible thing. It ended in millions of Japanese being destroyed and nuclear weapons blowing up in the dreadful Hiroshima and Nagasaki incidents. If the Japanese could have perceived what would result from attacking Pearl Harbor, do you think they would have still carried on with their attack plans? The modern world has been wrought through fire and iron and violence and great rendition. Of course, the aliens began to take great concern over the affairs of humanity in general all across the earth, now that the story has entered the nuclear chapter. I think so, Basic Materials, yeah. Obviously, if the Japanese could see where it was going, they wouldn't. I mean, you wouldn't start a war which you knew you were going to lose. But it did lead to so much suffering, it's unbelievable. Definitely. And what would have happened if Pearl Harbor hadn't happened? I don't know if... War may have eventually started anyway, but it may have been of a different kind. I don't know. But yeah, that, of course, is when... World War II was when the ETs really took an interest, and the modern UFO era, which essentially is a global flap, began and continues to this day. Same video, Dark Corners UK. Werewolf lives matter. Exactly they do. Exactly they do. The people up at Hull, finding old Stinker, didn't have any weapons on them. Same video, Basic Materials. The voyage of the USS Sea Viper, the last submarine was running out of fuel but decided to keep going and found the position of the Japanese Admiralty laying the way for the decisive battle. All right, it's a bit of interesting history there, Basic Materials. Thank you. This is Best and Funniest Films. Hospital Porter reacts. Steve071 says, I've never heard of the house in Nightmare Park. We'll try to find it somewhere. All right, it's on DVD. I've actually just bought the DVD of it because I found it. I hope you enjoy it, Steve. It's very, very good. And there's a few online copies floating around here and there. You may be able to watch them before you decide if you want the DVD. I still love the old Laurel and Hardy comedies. Yes, they are good. They've lasted well, actually. They're old, but they've endured. For me, Weekend at Bernie's and Planes, Trains and Automobiles are two funny films. Weekend at Bernie's is hilarious, and I felt guilty laughing because it's in such bad taste. It really is. If you watch it, you'll know what I mean. I won't tell you what it's about, but it is really sick on one level. But it's so funny. It's very good. And as Stan Laurel once said in one of their comedies, laughter is the best medicine. Yes, indeed. I don't know if you ever watched Patch Adams, the comedy of Robin Williams about the real Patch Adams, the doctor who healed with laughter. Yeah. Oops. And that's candy. We've ended hour number 3. This could be a 2-parter. All right, guys. See you shortly. All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I will be making this a 2-part film. Yeah, definitely. It's right. Charles from Project Hamlet said about Stan Laurel. His last words just before he died were, "If anyone cries at my funeral, I'll never speak to him again." You may have seen one of my Truth Seekers Northeast videos. I featured the statue of Stan Laurel. I don't know if you remember that. Steve says, nice quote. He kept writing scripts for Ollie and himself after his friend had passed, out of affection for him. Oh, I still adore them to this day. Yeah, there's a film actually. It's a colour film actually. The two of them together, and Ollie's like really skinny. He's lost so much weight because he was ill. Yeah. Charles says, I really don't trust anyone who doesn't like Laurel and Hardy. I can see that, yeah, and you're glad to know that I do. I really do like them. Oh, we have another thread here. Basis Project Christmas Lectures. That's my most recent film here. I'm just rolling, aren't I? Yeah, I am. Okay. Charles says, whatever happened to the Royal Institution Christmas Lectures? I don't know. Let's have a look. Royal Institution Christmas Lecture 2020. All right, it's Earth Engine, with Chris Jackson. All right, it's here. It's I like them actually. They're fun. They're interesting. I mean, apart from the one with Professor Brian Cox, which I just couldn't bear. But some of them have been quite good. The one with Frank Close was very good, about the origins of the universe. Steve Mumling says here, how can you compare the Royal Institution Christmas Lectures to such luminaries as Duncan Davis, the Celestial Paladin, and Julie Phelps? FFS. Looks like a weekend trip for potential Happy Acres residents to me. They have a special on basket weaving classes at the moment. Oh, God. I don't know what Happy Acres, Steve, is, but believe me, there was no basket weaving going on there. Charles says, I know. How could I have got it so wrong? Who needs actual tangible science with repeatability, peer review, and that other thing? I think they call it evidence. My life has been misguided. Sarcasm acknowledged, Charles. Yes, very droll. Same video, Williamism, nice one. Thanks, William. Much appreciated. And Clive Albert says on Basis Project, I wrote, I only wear this mask to protect me from fines. That's a good one. And BZ says, ooh, you rebel. Basis Project Christmas Lectures. Clive Albert, they got what they wanted now, and it's not going to go away. It will just get worse. Soon you will not be able to go into your shop without a pass. If someone asks me for my V-word passport, I will ask them to show me the lateral flow test, which they must have had within the last 24 hours. Otherwise, I'm at risk because the V-word does not stop you catching this elusive bug. It does not stop you passing it on. Male cow manure, yeah. A man, all rights reserved. God, yeah. That's the world they're trying to build, isn't it? They've rushed the New World Order, isn't it? Heidi TTFN, yes. Who was there? She appears, doesn't she, in the video? It was so lovely to see you. I'm slowly getting my videos on. Crappy laptop and only letting me get one lecture a day. Done Hugh and Dot on here so far. Mark Devlin's will go tomorrow. Can't wait to hook up again. Larry said he will try. TTFN Heidi. I've seen your videos on Odyssey. Thank you very much. Well done. Well done indeed. The Lights Were Low says on the Basis Project, the Plymouth Brethren do still exist, even in small London communities today. Ones such as Forest Hill, South London. Oh right, do they? Okay, maybe that's where Charles, what's his name, comes from. Charlie Ward. Cat Squatch Returns 93 said, "Wicked people bit are at least they bought us Crowley. Some lived over the street from me." All right, I didn't know that. I thought they died out. I see. I wonder if they produce any more Crowleys. You never know. Neil Peel. Hello, Neil. How you doing? He's Neil. That's Neil Geddes Ward, who created some of the footage for my video. Glad to be of help with the extra B-roll footage, Ben. You're very welcome. I'm really glad you did, Steve. Neil, thank you very much. It was really good, actually, your little things here. Heidi says, "I've just subbed to you, slapping myself for not having done so already. Great to see you, hun." And Neil says, "And I hope you enjoy our material." Oh, great. I'm sure Heidi will, Neil. Heidi. Heidi loves this sort of thing. Triple T says on Don't Eat Pringles. But what about Texas barbecue flavour? Everything that tastes good is bad for you. Snails are meant to be really good for you, but guess how they taste? Well, I don't know about that. I mean, the French love them, don't they? Well, they've got an aftertaste that smells of dog excrement. Oh, dear. I don't know. I mean, I've never tried snails. I've actually been to France a couple of times and didn't try snails. Guided Bosses. Oh, it's a lovely old one, this. Triple T says, "Bloody hell, 7 years ago already. I really enjoyed this. I remember this video being your latest upload while waiting and looking out for a new upload." Oh, thanks. I'm pleased with this video, actually. I enjoyed making it. It's well worth the trip to Cambridge. Basis Project Christmas Lectures 2021. Charles says, "Humbug. Out upon Basis Project. If I could work my will, every gibbering fool who goes round with Basis Project on his lips would be boiled in his own black goo and burned with a stake of tinfoil through his heart. Humbug, I say." Well, lucky you don't have your way, Charles. You know, just because we're all hamburgers with legs, you don't have complete control, do you? You can't use your super soldier psychic gangsters on everyone. We're not all pro golf players. Animal Auntie Bev. Hi, Bev. Same video. Tar Ben, I've been away from the scene for many years. Busy looking after my special needs animals. Had a lovely dream last week with a visit from AM. It was rather comforting. Oh, you met AM. Oh, that's nice. How's she getting on in the other side? I often think about AM and Neil and Ian R. Crane and Gareth and we've lost so many people, haven't we? Shirley Bolstock. The team on the other side is getting bigger, as Della said. This is the first comment from Israel Diego Rivera, genius to the real genius. I'd have thought he'd have come in earlier, but anyway, here we go. Same video, Basic Project. Have you looked into Rudolf Diesel? He invented the diesel engine and owned the patents. Yes! He came to a sticky end, didn't he? I'll read on. Hang on. The diesel engine ran on vegetable oils, and Rudolf Diesel was adamant in defending its use. He was then found overboard. He fell overboard while he was on a ship to London. They found his body twice floating in the sea and left it there to rot. It seems he was clearly murdered. As later, the diesel engine used petroleum. I've heard about this, and I've not looked into it in detail, but yeah, it appears he was an early victim of the energy industry. And of course, there's been many more since. And it's not even free energy. I mean, the diesel does have fuel. It's very efficient. It's more efficient. I mean, there was another guy actually who invented a carburetor for his car, and he was installing it. He tried to commercialise it. He got was it evading fuel tax or something they done him on? And that's not free energy. That's just making a conventional petrol engine more efficient. And the bloody oil industry took him out because he's threatening their profits, threatening their industry. Same video, but Diego, maybe I should do a video about that. We'll cover it in more detail. Joy May said at the Basic Project, "Inner stand, what you mean. It is lovely being around like-minded people. Always enjoyable being to a few." Yeah, do you know what, Joy? Thank you, and I'm glad you like that sort of thing. And I know what inner stand means. I've looked into that word. Yeah, thank you. Sax Glan said, "I agree. I hate having my beliefs challenged." All right, well, are you saying just because we like hanging out with other woo-woos, we don't like having our beliefs challenged, Sax? I know you're being sarcastic. Are you saying just because I enjoy a conference like this where I can hang out with other nutters like me, that just means I just can't bear to be with people who don't agree with me? Really? Well, how come I not only let you and people like you post comments on my channel, I encourage you to so I can debate with you. You are unfair. You really are, you guys. You're so polarized. You polarize things so much. Oops. Oh, God, what's happened now? Bloody heck. Hang on. Down I go again. I'm getting there now. I'm nearly at the end now. Gary Robinson says, let me go. Ben, mate, your videos always make me miss the UK. That is until I remind myself about all the restrictions. Although there are no restrictions here in Mexico, are there not? All right. The religion of muzzles is still in full effect. People wear them with pride, which really makes me cringe. Yeah. The other day I was asked to wear one when entering a restaurant here so that I could walk 5 steps to a table. The manager told the hostess that I was not to proceed from the entrance to the table without one, so I left. Cheers. Well, well done, Gary, for leaving. It's really annoying when it's not even legal. It's not even the law. I mean, I had this, the Spiritualist Church in Oxford. I've abandoned it now because they were enforcing these rules before it was even law. It's disgusting. And Charles says the religion sick of muzzles, and Gary misspells it slightly. Is that something to do with Harry Potter? And Saxclan says you're such a rebel. And I think Saxclan is being sarcastic, but I respect the stance that Gary made. I really do. Now, I've got a lot to say. I'm actually working on an article for HPANWO Voice about masks, and some of you won't agree with it. It's going to be a bit heretical, but bear with me. I respect what he does here, yeah. Gary says to Charles from Project Camelot, if only we lived in the world of Harry Potter, that would be more agreeable than the things going on right now. And Gary says, Saxclan, of all the people who hide behind their keyboards leaving big man comments, I'm definitely the hardest and most rebellious. Ha ha ha. Well said, Gary. Well said. I'm getting a love heart for that. And Charles says to Gary, sure, who doesn't want to be chased by Maggie Smith on a broomstick? It's Gary. Now, that's quite an image. Charles says, some people pay good money for that sort of thing. Right. Right, Checkpoint says on bases, he says, are you wearing sunglasses or are those your nostrils? You're making a fatuous reference to my facial features, are you? That's very intellectual, but then that's the kind of thing you do, isn't it, Julian? Yes, I know who you are. I'll be dealing with you at the end of this video. Checkpoint says, according to Ben, wheeling out Peter Hyatt is not a reason to suspect Luis Elizondo is not for real. He doesn't grant the Apollo astronauts that grace. No, I don't, because because Hyatt's analysis of the Apollo astronauts fits in with other evidence that I found. I think it can be used to bolster other evidence. Richard D. Hall uses it to substitute other evidence. That's the difference. See what I mean? Same video, Gary Robinson. Great video, Ben. Been watching today whilst working. Pride and dignity, brother. Pride and dignity, Gary. Dark Corners, UK. Great video, Ben. Thanks for taking us on this adventure. You're welcome, Dark Corners. You're very welcome. And we have a thread here on David Smith here. Okay. David Smith says, Sally doesn't know what an RBE is. Which Sally? Was that some? Who's Sally? And parroting Stefan Molly whatever whilst pointing to other people as sheep is pretty ironic. Are you calling me Sally? Is that my name now, is it? What's RBE? When people conflate RBE with communism, it shows they've studied about neither in any depth. It's like calling a dog a cat because they both have 4 legs and a tail. What is RBE? I'm going to have to look this up. Hang on. RBE. Luxembourg Business Register. Non-RBE. Bit disambiguation. Rock County Airport. Resource-based. Oh, resource-based economy. That's it. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Resource-based economy. Got it. Sally doesn't know. So I don't know what a resource-based economy is. You're calling me Sally for some reason. Yes, I do. It's an economy which is based on control and top-down planning rather than things naturally emerge from pricing and and demand and supply, which is basically left to happen on its own. People conflate RBE with communism. It shows they studied about neither in depth. It's like a dog calling a cat because they have 4 legs and not a tail. Okay, well, David, why don't you correct me instead of insulting me? Are you going to do that? I see in one video you claim the NWO was scared and losing. But how can that be if you and your friends are avoiding the pub and need events like this there not to feel crazy? All right, well, I don't see why the New World Order shouldn't be losing, and that's the case. Why are those two things mutually exclusive? I don't quite understand. They are scared and losing, but yes, we do need to get out and about and meet other people who are like-minded. Perhaps you could explain that, as well as explaining, obviously maybe there is a difference. If there's a difference between RBE and communism, then please let us know what it is, because from what I can see, RBE is a form of communism. Sorry you have insomnia. I hope it gets better soon. Thanks very much, David. I haven't had it since, which is nice. Charles says, now you mention it, Ben was looking quite chipper. Jolly, nice to see that jolly face, to be honest. It is Christmas after all. Thanks, Charles. I was very chipper. In the new year, Ben has to go through the slow realization that disclosure will never, ever happen. There is no New World Order. Brian Cox is not an annoying person, etc. For now, though, let the little fella dream. Oh, well, firstly, you're wrong about... I think you're wrong about most of those things. Disclosure will happen. There is a New World Order. Brian Cox is an annoying person. So, but I will explain that in the videos at the time. David Smith says, even I dream, Charles. Disclosure is coming around 2024, 2025 now. Didn't you hear? Funnily enough, David, yes, I did. This is a projection that's actually several people have made. It's a very interesting projection, which I will address. It's in fact, none other than Bryce Zabel has suggested 2023 to 2025. Some people claiming it's reality. Some people claiming it's reality. No, it's actually reality. Well, we don't know if it's reality yet. It's a theory, but it has been presented with good reasons. Please listen to Somewhere in the Skies, the radio show of Ryan Sprague, and the interview he does with Bryce Zabel. Until it doesn't happen, then we'll make some more claims and back them up with yet more claims. What I claim it's the truth, and Skeppers just can't accept it. Well, I don't know who's doing that, Charles. I'm not. I'm making claims, and if the Skeppers want to dispute me, like you are, you, Steve Mumbling, and David Smith are, then that's fine. But I'm not backing them up with more claims. I'm giving you rational replies. Steve Mumbling says, on basis, you went all the way down there to spend a whole day outside the conference. Hilarious. I was not outside. The receptionist stroke security guard stroke usher is not outside. I could hear and see what was going on in the auditorium, and I could hear it too. So I wasn't outside. I was just sitting outside the main auditorium because I was doing a job, and I was glad to do that job. I was glad to play an active role. I mean, I said, look, thank goodness I don't have to speak, But, there's a part of me that just likes being involved in that sense. It just enjoys being in the thick of it, so to speak. Charles says underneath, if a flying saucer landed outside and he wasn't there to see it, Ben could never live with himself. Honestly, Charles, I think that's true, I think that's true. I would be kicking myself really badly. I really would. Oh, God, yeah, I'd want to be... Wherever that happens, I want to be there. I want to be able to see it. Nothing as it seems. Hello, Nothing. Good to hear from you on us. Losing your phone. The situation wouldn't have been as funny if your blower was set to buzz. It would have given me a bit of a jolt, yes. Same video, Totus2 says, Ben, mate, you have the patience of Job. Thanks. I think you bloody need it, don't you? You bloody need it. I said that to Mark Devlin, you damn well need it. You really do. Charlie. All right, this is someone new. Not the Charles or Scott or Charles Project Camelot. It's Charlie, Chili943. Oh, okay. This is on Free Will, Articles and Comments. It's an old video. Well, quite old. A few months old. Have you ever done a video into MH370? I don't know. I've done articles about it. Certainly, I can't remember. I might have done at some point. I might have brought it up in a video, even if it wasn't the theme of the video. The Malaysia Airlines plane that went missing in 2014. So much stuff has developed, but still the plane remains undiscovered. There are many theories of what possibly happened, some of which are very strange, but also quite possible. Many strange things about that flight, and things have only got stranger over the years. I think it would be good to hear your thoughts on what's happened. Right you are, Charlie. You know, maybe I'll do a video about that. And to be honest, now's a good time, because there's a new guy going around, this bloke. He's been on... he was on The Unexplained with Howard Hughes and did a really good interview there, talking about what he thinks has happened to that plane. So maybe now is a good time. Yes, will do. Lime Specs. This is the last comment I've got on the list now. Basis Project. This is 4 hours ago this was posted, just before I started recording. You know, a roving vid is my fave ones. Might be the last one for a while, Ben. Also lockdown pending. Well, thanks, Lime Specs. You know, hopefully not, but we'll just have to go with the flow. I'll just take each day as it comes, and with any luck, it'll be all right. Okay, so I'm now going to go to BitChute and go through the comments there. As always, a BitChute doesn't have comment notifications. Okay, sorry, BitChute wasn't working. I've got it working now. Okay, let's go. Now, as you know, BitChute has no notification system, which means I can either go through every single video and check every single video on my catalogue, which I can't, or I can just get the new videos, basically since the last comments reply video, and that's all I can do, really. So let's just have a look. Which video am I talking about here? Let's just check, just double check. When was my last? Because I don't upload my comments reply videos to YouTube. Okay, so the first video I've got to look at is what? Okay, this is this is my Alt Tech exclusive, which I can't, whose title I can't actually mention on. I can't actually mention the title on YouTube. So I'm gonna have to be careful how I answer the comments on this particular video. Okay. Justice Truth Warrior. The unmentionable word was an intelligence operation. General Flynn. The end. No, it wasn't. I explain why in there. I can't actually say too much, actually, unfortunately, but I'll do my best. Kitchen75 says, the great somethingception. Pack it in, something Berts. Only God is true, every man is a lie. No, it's not. It was not General Flynn. It was not an intelligence operation from General Flynn. General Flynn, I think, is a good guy who may well be connected to the unmentionable, but it wasn't. And you're wrong about that. The great somethingception, pack it in something Berts. By the way, I've never heard those jokes. Call every man a lie, only God is true. No, not true. Cosmic Claire, hi. How you doing, Cosmic Claire? I've heard all sorts of things about how unmentionable has been exposed to be this, that, or the other. I don't know. But in the end, even if it's be a LARP, a PSYOP, or a hoax, it has helped the Trump campaign and patriots immensely, and must therefore be seen to have backfired. Quite so. Quite so, Claire, thank you. Darth219, Trump is a narcissistic clown. No, he's not. Thumb down. At least you can thumb down videos. You can thumb down comments on this. Justice Truth Warrior said, pro V-word, defended the WHO, yet gave his friend Gates $13 trillion. I think you really, I think, Justice Truth Warrior, you expect miracles from this guy, don't you? You think he did these things willingly. You think, oh, he was put in there to do that. Do you realise what he was up against? People are angry with Trump because he didn't perform miracles. Well, get real. People don't perform miracles. He did what he did with the resources he had, and it's not over yet. It's not over. Okay, Silverado 1963 says, the Biden administration, quote-unquote, is a disaster, and people whom I know voted for him are disappointed beyond belief. Bloody hell, yes. Isn't that right? Some of these even wish Trump would get back in. Well, as Molyneux quipped, sorry, customer, no refund. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, I think, regret it. A lot of people, very often they regret it very soon after, because the mask slips off once the election is over, doesn't it? Yeah. You can't rationalise the price of gasoline and diesel for over a year ago onto today's prices, and the price of all commodities. This is destroying the Democrats' image. There will be no recovery from that unless the Democrats do a 180-degree turn to the right, but they won't. No, they won't. They're there specifically to ruin the whole situation, as are the never-Trumper Republicans. Catmar 1944 has a Welsh flag. Hey, well, that's good to know. All plans have to be flexible because plans never go exactly as the planners think due to the variables introduced by the other side and the planners have missed. It's very difficult to account for all the variables. On the whole, I'm with you on the unmentionable. And Silverado says underneath, absolutely right. Well, thanks, guys. Silverado and Catmar are on my side. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think that's a good point. People were dealing with what they thought it would be some kind of... They thought it was to be some kind of movie. But things don't work out that way. They just don't work out that way. Okay, why call them back for heaven on BitChute? No comments. Germany live stream on Germany live stream. No comments. Best and funniest films a hospital porter reacts. No comments. Pearl Harbor 80th anniversary live stream. No comments. Basis Project Christmas Lectures 2021. Woden says, oh, let's catch that when it starts playing. Woden says, when asked if I'm V-worded, I tell them the truth. No, it killed my neighbour. My dad now has a kind of dementia, and 2 mates in 1 week both got blood cancer. There's a BitChute link here. They can't force it, and that's why the angry BS trying to make you feel like the odd man out. Yeah, precisely. That's exactly what they're doing, Woden. They can't force it. There are centuries of medical law preventing them forcing it. They want you to. They just want you to think that law doesn't exist and you have no rights. I'll check out the link later. Okay. And Florida Man says the whole truth. And what's this? Oh, all right. I'll check out Woden's link too from Woden 20. Important information UK. Okay, this is...
so our glorious idiot leader is about to do another announcement tonight. He is expected
I'm subbing to you.
I'm
subbing to you, mate.
Philosopher's Stone.
Right, Phil's...
A lot of people...
Thank you very much. All right, I'll now click on the Florida Man 78 link. But thanks, Woden. I appreciate your comments on BitChute. You do a lot of commenting on BitChute. Hexagons for Christ. All right, okay. I'll catch up with you later on that. DJ B2 says, hi, Ben. Hi. How you doing, DJ? Nice, thanks for commenting. Okay, that's all the BitChute ones out the way. Now we'll go to Odyssey. Now, Odyssey does have a notification system, but it only goes back about a week. So I'm just going to go through the notifications. Now, whenever I see one, I capture them. Okay, where are we now? Blah. Right, nothing. There's nothing on there. So what I'll do is I'll do what I did with BitChute now. I'll go for. I have been looking out for comments on my Odyssey notification. So I'll just do what I did before. So, why the unmentionable is real. And we got one comment here. The last unmentionable post linked to Twisted Sister. We're not going to take it video. Oh, really? All right, I said here, I can't get it out of my head. Was humming it at work today. All right, we're not gonna take it. We're not gonna take it. Yeah, we're not gonna take it anymore. Yeah, that's a good. I hope they're trying to get it to Christmas #1, so go buy it from iTunes, guys. Okay, why call them back from heaven? No comments. Germany live stream. No comments. Best and funniest films a hospital porter reacts. No comments. Pearl Harbor 80th anniversary. No comments. Basis Project Christmas lectures. No comments. Okay, that's Odyssey done. Now I'm going to go to Rumble. I forgot Rumble last time, didn't I? But I didn't have. The thing is, Rumble. I didn't actually have any. I do get notifications on Rumble, and I didn't have any. I didn't actually have any comments on the last time. So so there was no need because if notifications didn't appear last time, which is why I left it out, and I've got no notifications this time. I'll just double check. No comments. No, I think I should. I'm almost certain there's no comments. No comments. No comments. I do. I've got like how many? I've got 3 views. 2. I'm getting hardly any views on Rumble anyway. I got 7 views on the Germany live streams. Let's have a look. No comments. 7 views, but no comments. Not to worry. I mean, I get more views than that on. I get more views than that on the other platforms anyway. No comments then. That's why I call them back from heaven. And finally, the unmentionable. No comments. Yeah, oh well. How many views have I had on that? 16. I've had 16 views on the unmentionable. Right, that's Rumble done. Okay, so that's it just leaves one thing now. I'll do one more check in a minute. But first of all, I'd like to alert you to some comments. A comment that was left by Checkpoint. He says here, here's a quote from a post made by Ben Emlyn-Jones. The something is indeed a fake. I can't even tell you what this is. The something showerheads, something real plumbing. And I can't actually go on because you can't talk about this. I'm not actually saying this because I'm afraid of losing a video or I'm scared for myself or anything like that. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't want people watching this to go to prison. I really don't. But I now have no doubt who Checkpoint is. And I think the reason Checkpoint, or Julian, I think the reason you chose to break cover was because you knew you were about to be exposed. You knew that I had found out who you were. In fact, I suspected who you are, who you say you are, for several months now. And I've noticed you do this, Julian. And I assume you are, Julian. I think you are the pivotal figure with Team Droik. I know you don't work alone. I know because your posts on the forum before I banned you had all kinds of different spelling. There's different kinds of spelling. Sometimes the spelling is better than others. And so I knew it was more than one person. You also post from different IP addresses and different time zones you were active. So you have people all over the world, but you are the pivotal figure. You're the one I met. You're the one I sat round and shared a campfire conversation with in the days when we used to meet up with the other members of the forum that we were all part of, the community that I discovered and I loved. And you sat there with a smirk on your face, and I saw the smirk on your face, and I never suspected. I never suspected you. People tried to warn me. The good people on that forum tried to warn me of who you were, and I didn't want to believe it. And you keep coming back. I'm surprised you came back after what I'm going to talk about, but you've decided to come back and start again. 15 years you and your cronies have been after me, and now you're here again. Under another identity, you can create an infinite number of them. That's a good thing. I'm not in favour of I'm not in favour of this. Oh, stop anonymous use of the internet stuff. I'm not in favour of that because I have a block function which I'm about to use, and that's how we deal with little creeps like you. I don't know what else to say really, except I know why you've broken cover, and I had a feeling you probably would because I was getting closer. You could feel me getting closer, couldn't you? You could feel me getting closer. And I know you'll probably come back under another identity. And of course I won't. I'll suspect it's you, but I won't get rid of you because I think you want me to do that. You want me to just block everyone I even suspect is you. Because inevitably I'll start blocking innocent people. And no, I'm not going to do that. What does surprise me though, Julian, it really surprises me. You see, I know what a hateful little prick you are. And there's nothing wrong with being hateful. I mean, I don't go along with this idea, you have to get hate out of your life. No. Hate is a natural part of a person's personality as much as love is. If you can't hate, then you can't love. And I love and I hate. And I do feel real love, which is why I can feel real hate. And when it comes to the people in my life I hate, and I believe there's nothing wrong with hate if you integrate it, and I am trying to integrate my hatred. Rather than just denying it and trying to get rid of it, I've integrated it, which I think is far healthier. I have fantasies. Now, I've got to be careful what I say for legal reasons now. My main fantasy, and I'm sure other people who feel hatred have the same fantasies, is to to be face to face with the person I hate, to be in their company, so that I can express my hatred for them in a personal way, directly. And that's all I can say, because I don't want to break the law. Now, you obviously feel hatred for me. To have harangued me for 15 years, you must feel hatred for me. So why is it when I offered you a free lunch, you turned it down? In my case, I would have to work very hard to get into a position where I could indulge my fantasy for hatred. You were offered it on a plate. All you had to do, you needed the train fare to Watford, basically, and walk to the station to that hospital. That's all you needed to do. You were offered it on a plate, and you turned it down. Why is that? I'm not even going to say why, because it's so obvious. And indeed, I explain very carefully why in the video confronting Droik. Why you didn't turn up. And this is why you're going to come back on the internet again, and you're going to attack me on the internet again. You decided just to go back to your old tactics, haven't you? But when you were offered a free lunch, you turned it down. You were offered the chance to express your own feelings towards me with simply the train fare to get to Watford, and you turned it down. What does that say? It's obvious what that says about you, Droik. Doesn't it, Julian? And so now, let me just go to display capture. And let's just... This is his channel here. It's just a name. Oh, he does have a banner and an nav. Normally they don't even have that. Normally, see, he's got no uploads, no faves, no playlists, no description, one subscriber. He's got nothing. You know, it's obviously it's a channel he's created simply for the purpose of being able to post on my channel because he wants to get back at me. Okay, so here we go. About you're witnessing this. Here we go. Block user. Submit. Goodbye checkpoint till we meet again under a new ID. So you've witnessed a live blocking there of a troll. Hope you enjoyed that, ladies and gentlemen. Right. On to happier things. Let's go back and do a quick refresh and see if I've got any more YouTube comments since I started making this video. Oh, I have. Lovely. Wonderful. Okay. Oh, I don't have any. Oh, right. No, I don't actually. Oh, here we go. That's GB News. I also get notifications for some channels. Podcast of the Lotus Eater, Slapped Ham, Maya Tusi. No, I actually haven't had any. No one's actually posted on the channel since I. No one's posted on the channel since I started this recording. Normally I get some funny remarks from people who notice that I'm making the video and they decide to say something, but they haven't this time. Okay, guys, so that ends reply to comments 51. As I said, there may be... Oh, I'm thinking of maybe doing a deal day live stream on New Year's Eve, but I'll probably be too drunk. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. But also... as I said, Soylent Green. Should we do a live stream about Soylent Green? Do you want a live stream also about cryonics? Let me know, because I've got ideas, and I've got another video planned for next week actually, which should be fun. Steve Mumbling won't like it, so he'll be commenting. And on Christmas Day, I will probably do another drunk video like I did last year. In the meantime, Christmas, of course, is very close now, a week away. If I don't see you before then, have a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. But, of course, I will be around, and I hope you will too. So, yeah. And, of course, there will be another comments reply video in 2022, as well as lots of other videos. So, thank you for watching HPANWO TV. Hospital Porters, Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order.